Hello folks, welcome back to Gamius. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the top 10 best co-op PC games of all time. Make sure to stick around till the end because some of these games are so good that you wouldn't want to leave your couch until you finish it all up in one go. Valheim. Whenever we talk about co-op games, one genre that seems to pop up at the top is open-world survival games. And if you're a fan of those, I bet you have already spent hours playing through the brutal world of Rust. But guess what? There's a new competitor in town that provides kind of the same survival gameplay experience, but drags you all the way back to the medieval era of the Vikings. Coming from the developers Iron Gate Studio, this game is still in the early access, but I have never seen a game more polished than this from the get-go. For a pretty cheap price of $20, Valheim offers you everything from crafting, world building, working together with friends to set up a village, and a lot of monster hunting. Best part? The whole open world is procedurally generated, making every encounter in the game just as unique as the first one. Back 4 Blood. I am a huge fan of open-world zombie survival shooters because I don't think there's anything more exhilarating and heart-pumping than ripping the guts out of those brain-dead man-eating machines with some insanely brutal weaponry. Left 4 Dead has always been at the top of my list for years, but it's about time we wave goodbye to it and say hello to another epic entry to this gory world. Back 4 Blood builds upon the original concept, putting emphasis on the brutal executions with a ton of new weapons. This is a game that I personally want to play with my friends because, trust me, co-op doesn't get any better than this. Sea of Thieves. Pirates of the Caribbean is by far the best movie that I've ever watched, let alone the best pirate movie of all time, period. And we all want to play a game based on the life of a pirate, don't we? Well, Sea of Thieves lets you do just that. From fighting intense battles with other pirates on land to launching massive cannonballs at the enemy ships in the sea, this game is filled with chaos. Unlike any other game I've ever come across, Sea of Thieves lets you venture off on quests to find hidden treasures with friends, pilot massive ships to explore and capture other islands, and fend off your kingdom with some pretty awesome makeshift weapons. If your love for being a pirate hasn't dulled down since childhood, this is your chance to let all hell loose. Overcooked 2. Cooking games are fun, but do you know what's more fun? Playing cooking games with your friends. Overcooked laid the foundation of co-op task games that became quite a hit back in the days. And continuing on the same path, we have Overcooked 2, with twice as much chaos and fun. This game is all about working together with your friends to prepare some unique dishes under extraordinary conditions with Sword of Time constantly breathing down your neck. And yes, don't forget to put out the fire your overcooked food just caused. Monster Hunter. Games like World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy are loved by millions for their widely enjoyable social aspect that encourages players to play together in groups or guilds to get the most out of the game while creating moments that last a lifetime. While these are largely multiplayer quests meant to help players make quick progress, Monster Hunter offers a great co-op single-player campaign mode where you can slay through herds of monsters and fight colossal bosses with your favorite pals. I love how Monster Hunter combines the best parts from other popular games to create a unique gameplay experience that is loved by many. I, for one, love the fluid combat system that is just essential for a great co-op experience. It Takes Two. The life of a married couple is filled with a lot of challenges, and sometimes people just give in to worldly hardships. It Takes Two tells a story of a married couple on the verge of a divorce, trying to save their broken marriage through magical dolls who are bound to work together if they want to find an escape from the world filled with mind-boggling puzzles and deadly enemies lurking around each corner. I love the premise of the game, where both the players must work together to find solutions to the ever-evolving problems of an unknown world. Every puzzle that you solve feels totally different from the previous one. A must-play co-op game if you ask me. Dying Light 2. Going back to the dark and desolate world of zombies, Dying Light 2 is by far one of the most thrilling co-op games that you're ever going to experience. If you've played the original Dying Light game, you would already know just how epic the gameplay is. But with the latest entry to the series, developers seem to go all in with everything they have got. When I first laid my eyes on this game, I was totally blown away by the graphics quality. After being a super fan of bloodshed and violence, this is something that adds much more depth to all the gruesome executions that this game has to offer. Speaking of which, the sequel comes packed with a ton of execution methods that look totally insane. Dying Light 2 features a full-fledged 4-player co-op mode that lets you survive through herds of brainless man-eating monstrosities with your friends. World War Z Aftermath. Based on the highly popular Hollywood post-apocalyptic title, World War Z Aftermath is yet another epic addition to the zombie survival genre that's been immensely outdated from its predecessor. Aftermath is set in a similar world featured in the original movie, but developers have been quite busy expanding its universe to include more maps. Although it does offer everything that most of the other games in the genre do as well, Aftermath is just more chaotic than others. And I'm not entirely sure whether it's a good thing because, yeah, killing zombies is fun, but that's not all I want to do all the time. But nonetheless, it is a worthy title to be on this list. Haven. It's time we take a short break from all the evil monstrosities of the dark world and dive into a rather peaceful realm to explore a vast, unique world filled with creatures that are magnificent to watch but equally dangerous to mess around with. This 2-player co-op game lets you jump into the shoes of a young couple trying to start a fresh new life. But this new life doesn't come easy. The world that they have chosen comes packed with a lot of challenging puzzles and a variety of enemies. You have to work together to explore this unknown universe and fight tactical battles with monsters to ensure your survival. Portal 2. Last but definitely not least, this co-op game just pushes the limits of your imagination and it forces you to get creative with your puzzle-solving skills. Portal 2 is by far one of the most challenging co-op games you will ever come across. It does get frustrating sometimes, but the way developers have managed to acquire a perfect balance between skill and puzzle solving makes you want to grind harder until you solve it all. With that, we've reached the end of our list, and I know that there is still a ton of awesome co-op games out there, but that would make for a very long list. So comment down below any deserving title for a future video. Make sure to like and subscribe to see more awesome gaming content like this. That's it for this video, and I will see you in the next one.